Good morning, good people. Good morning, GP. As one. We are GP. This is your host, Richard Clemens. You are tuned into Bipolar in Cleveland. Going to get right into it. I welcome you. Stay tuned. Nobody go nowhere. We're going to talk about Trump and what's going on in our current state of this coronavirus and just a few other topics. I won't hold you guys too long. If this is your first time, I would like you to like my show and comment on my show on whatever platform that you are currently listening to it on. I am on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, all of those good things, even Anchor. That's another show though. But stay tuned. Until then, let everybody know who the hell I am.
I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain of the story. Pages turning. I'm the star of the movie. What you was afraid of, the reason that you worry. Cause I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain of the story. I'm the bad guy. Villain of the story. Pages turning. I'm the star of the movie. What you was afraid of, the reason that you worry. I'm the bad guy.
Yes, sir. We are here. We ain't going nowhere. Do you know that this show is over 50 now? 50 episodes. So it's like, wow. And I have to get better. So as time goes on, we shall do that, right? That is the goal. I don't know. Just jumping into things. I watch a lot of YouTube, right? Obviously, most of us do. And, I just noticed the different content of black YouTubers and white YouTubers. Or maybe it's just what I listen to, or, what's in my lexicon and my history and things like that, and what's recommended to me. But it's like all the successful YouTubers, most of them are women, but it's all basically gossip shows. They gossip, about everybody's business, be it whatever it is, but they actually, and it's so funny, because I had a thought about this a long time ago. It's like, I'm going to make a show about making a show about making a show. And I'm the dude playing the dude, playing another dude. But the thing is that, like these YouTubers, right, they get their news, they get their information from news. Or a lot of them get it from talk shows, right? Say that somebody gets their news from Wendy Williams, right? So she got her news from somebody else. They got their news from somebody else. They got it from the source, right? Like Wendy Williams would get her stuff from TMZ, right? So TMZ would get it from the person that recorded it, right? And the person that it all happened to was recorded by the first person, right? Which is nobody. Then TMZ gets it, right? And then they report on it, and then Wendy Williams gets it, and then she reports on it, and then the YouTuber gets it, and then they report in it, right? And so there's all these chains of evidence, right? So you're not you have 5 stories here now, right? You could talk about what TMZ said, what they got right and wrong. You could talk about what Wendy Williams got right and wrong, and her attitude and how she delivered it, and the video and the person, depending on if they are interested enough, they might they get pushed to the side. Case in point is Wendy Williams talking about Nicki Minaj and what she's doing to Nicki Minaj's reputation is like, and it's very interesting. This is one of the mindfuck things, and like planting seeds and things like that, and things that people are never gonna, it's gonna affect people's lives forever and ever. It's like, and people. One person can do that, one people can affect multiple lives. We know this type of thing, but you don't think about it on a micro level, or a macro level. However, like very, petty. Speaking of petty, talking about Nicki Minaj and her husband, and about how Wendy Williams, want to keep on reiterating that this man is a sex offender, you know, and then I think, you know, he got a manslaughter, like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, like the way she's dragging him, you know, she's painting a picture. You see what I'm saying? So now Nikki being associated with him is always going to be something. You know what I mean? She's letting the broader audience of the white people know, you know what I mean, of who Nicki Minaj is actually married to. And it's like, you know, it's like, and this is going to affect Nicki forever. And then this is, you know, and so it's going to affect her. And then, like, somebody was saying that Nicki, you know what I mean, Wendy might be doing it for, like, views and stuff like that, because that's how petty she is, you know what I mean? It's like, the story, like, it gets layered because it gets passed down from, you know, like, anybody, the YouTuber that I was watching, she was talking about how petty Wendy Williams is, you know? But the story starts off about, you know, this dude not registering for being a sex offender, and then Nicki Minaj being, you know, caught up in the middle of her being married to him and all the stuff that she do, you know, it's like, it's all, you know, it's like they affecting, like, but people go to war. This is what I'm trying to make a bigger point about, you know, I don't want to talk about all their business, but the point is about people go to war, you know, and it trickles down and it affects everybody or little people that you don't even know. Because I got a whole nother different episode that I have already named institutionalized, right? Because I gotta figure out my strengths and my weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? I've been going to jail. Well, I was going to jail like for a long time, and like I have to bring these type of, you know, like everybody want to talk about their gangster stories and stuff, but it's like I've been in jail with all type of different mindsets, you know, all different type of people. I mean, like how these niggas think, you wouldn't believe. And so that's a different episode. Like I'm about to start, you know, giving information from me. You know, it's like, I don't know, not all of this stuff that I'm talking about now. Even now, I'm trying to make it a bigger thing about how people go to war and how people get affected, you know. Because it's like, you know, and like my point is about gossiping, you know, it's about how popular, you know, Tasha K, you know, she on her way to 1 million views. This other girl, Veronica, all these T, and then some of them, right, the homosexuals got their popular channels. You know, the two dudes I do like is Ab and, I forgot, sorry, partner, I forgot your name. But like they have their critique and views on women and how, you know, and how men are viewed by women, you know, from a more man perspective that I feel, you know, that's very, you know, it's like they're not all like me, like, you know, how I get sometimes or however that is, you know, but they point out, you know, the hypocrisy in different situations and, you know, and how females are, you know, from men's point of views, you know, but they do it intellectually, you know, and point out the ironic, you know, the ironic part of a lot of the shit that goes on. So I appreciate those guys. But a lot of this shit, like the popular things, I like Willie D too. Willie D, you know, he's good. It's like you get these, you subscribe to these people's channels though. It's like, and like Willie D go on a tear, like, you know, he making an episode every 30 minutes, you know, he putting this shit out like crack. But anyway, I digress. So no, I don't. I mean, because I'm just talking about these guys, right? And it's like, you know, but I'm just talking about how it's like, right? You have these other shows that have people watching a video and then how they react to the video, you know, with their mom or dad or drunk uncle or grandma, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like there's no effort put into, you know, their own content, their own like ideas and things like that. This is why you hear me sitting over here losing my mind and not having, like, you know, not having what you would call a flow, you know, and just talking about, you know, it's so easy to talk about other people's business and things like that. You know, it's harder to talk about your own business, you know, or self-reflect on yourself or things like that, you know. I always thought that I would be able to, this is right, here I go. OMC, here we go. But this thing, right, about I always thought that I was going to be able to, I said this before, though, about put all my business out there, and talk about how, my family is, my mama is, and I have done that with my mother. I have done it to a certain degree, but I was going to also have them on the show. See what I'm saying? So it was like, it wasn't like now, like, like now that I don't want to do it, it's always going to fucking seem like I was crazy. But it's not. It's like, I swear, right, the episode where my mother got erased, y'all did hear a little bit of the family ties thing. You hear how she talked, but I just recorded, like, think like yesterday or the day before, an hour, you know what I'm saying, with my brother, and went through and everything, and it failed to upload, so it didn't upload, and so now I'm with the choice of, do I want to actually put it out? I mean, because it doesn't end well, like, as far as I know, but it was an insight, right? It was a good inside look of, part of my family dynamic. But now on retrospect, I don't know, like, if I want to put that out, you know what I mean? It's so funny. It's like, right. It's like, it's almost a good thing about how, like, oh, hindsight is 20/20. So, like, I actually did it. It actually went out, but, like, I mean, I actually did it and recorded it and everything like that. And it's not the worst thing in the world, but, like, now in hindsight, do I actually want, that put out into the universe, with me and my brother, and however the conversation went, and so like we don't have this, and the situation still actually happened, you know what I mean? Just because we recorded it doesn't mean that we still ain't thinking about the shit. I mean, like, we did text each other later on, you know what I'm saying, like, love you type of stuff. So we cooled on that. But the episode got heated, you know what I mean? Because we've been through a lot of shit. And then a lot of stuff going on with him, a lot of stuff going on with me, as always. And then it's like we have these two women, also in the mix, which is my mama and our sister, you know what I mean? From my point of view, you know what I'm saying, this is the whole fucking crux of everything, you know what I mean? And I always thought that I was going to be able, dissect this, and, like, everybody will figure out I'm a fucking genius. I had all the answers all the time, but it don't even matter, because, like, I learned, I hate being right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't even know how many steps, like, it's like every step that, it doesn't even matter if you was, it don't matter if you have the spider sense where you just get warned, a few seconds, you know what I mean? That's how it saves my life, you know what I mean? My spider sense has saved my life, like, oh, that was almost death. But, like, a lot of times, things play out, and you be like, well, what point where, was I supposed to, stop this, or realize, that we're going down this road, because because we could do this 8 steps, you play chess, so you try to predict the future, you try to predict other people, saying your opponent's moves, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, literally chess, but people try to apply this to life, I don't know, subconsciously, and sometimes consciously, so we all trying to mind fuck each other, trying to put you into traps, oh, you said this, you brought the beer this time, and you done fucked up, all of this, stuff, and you grown, and it's stuff that you used to get in trouble for when you was a child, but now as an adult, these people that succeed in our world, oh, this is an attribute, how can I, lie, and then, not tell you the truth, but then don't give a fuck if you catch me, and and all that, like, it's like all of this stuff, that was beat out of me, okay, as a child, you know what I mean? All the ways that, what I'm saying, to get over and succeed in this world was beat out of me, people, my mama said that shit wasn't right, like, that's a very good, interesting point. First time I ever said it, like, I like Karen Hunter. She's very, like, she's a breath of fresh air right now, right? Because she's dynamic. She tells, different, she has different point of views, and she has a real point of view, I think, what I mean? She's still a girl, what I mean? So she has her woman point of views. because I disagree with her about that Snoop stuff, and I did agree with her that I didn't think Snoop was going, because she didn't like the way he called her a bitch. So I always, I don't care, bitch, nigga, fag, right? Hi, my name is Richard Clemens. So anyway, but I didn't think he was going to apologize, and then who knew he was going to apologize 50 million times, like po baby, But she's very, I like her a lot, She's a writer, So I know, her mind is all over the place, but she's actually ghostwritten for people, like Queen Latifah, LL Cool J, like that type of stuff, like their books that you think, is their story or however, it's coming from their point of view, but it's actually, somebody's writing their point of view for them. So that's, all of those things are taken into account also. This is why my mind is so fucked up, because I think about all of that at the same time, And so, like, right, but then it's like, I try to start to show off about, like, we are only this moment, so you have to be present, right? That's what I was talking about, like, it doesn't matter about being right, because I've been right, and it don't matter, It really doesn't matter, and it really doesn't matter when you remember being right. It's like I told you. That's even worse, actually. It's even worse, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, even like D.L. Hughley, you know what I'm saying? I like him. I like him a lot. He's like a very sarcastic. And, like, he's the best of, he's a comedian for a reason, because, he has quick wit. That was always made the funniest people, is the ones that could, had something smart to say, and you can never, mess with them or doubt their, like, or challenge them or try to demean them, like, demean them in any type of way, because they was going, if they was fat, they didn't care. If they was ugly or broke or however it was, they weren't going to be the butt of the joke. No egg on my face. That's what makes a great comedian, It's like, hey, hot potato, that's what a great comedian is, We have to recognize this stuff in our society, because people, even they take advantage of, that, their power, with great power comes great responsibility, people. And I'm just trying to learn how to use mine still in the right way. Because that's the whole thing, like, right, my Catholic guilt, I always felt like, I went too far, Because, like, I'm telling you, a lot of times, like, when I stop caring, or you act like you stop caring, or however you get more selfish, you get more, like, just more focused, it's like, but, like, you breaking a lot of eggs, to make a little ass, omelet, for one, talking about, right there, see, what I'm saying? But how big is, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet, but how big is that omelet? Is that just feeding one person? Because an omelet supposed to feed, what I'm saying? That's some eggs to take there, to break that. That could feed more than one person, you know what I mean? So how big is this omelet we making, you know what I mean? So, do all them chickens and them eggs got to be broke for your ass to make a one-person omelet, And this is what I'm talking about, people. How you doing? My name is Richard Clemens. Welcome to my show. Have to do that, right? It's like do. And so, like, I like DL, like I was saying though, he, but he's like, he makes good points, and then he makes a joke, so he just points the mirror at society. He doesn't, he has answers and stuff like that, but he's more of a questionnaire than an advocate, as far as I know. It's because, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that about him. I'm not gonna say that. Right? He's very good at what he does. Like he puts questions on people's minds and things like that. But he lets people be people also. Like, I'm not that type of person. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm tired of people being just who they are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Somebody should have took me away from my mama a long time ago. They tried, but she wasn't having that shit. So I feel sorry for the kids. Mama ain't giving them nothing. Right? God ain't giving them their children. It's all crazy. Oh, oh man. All right. But like he talk a lot of common sense, you know. I'm just going through like DJ Bad, like this man, behind Joe Rogan is probably the most successful podcaster in the world, and rarely never shows his face, it's just people on there talk, but he's good. Like at least they be talking about their stories, and it leaks over into other people's stories. But like it be like he's more of a source person though. Like he went straight to the source and got the story from the people. You know what I mean? And that's is not very. Well, maybe that's not gospeling, right? He got like I ain't snitching. I'm telling. That's what we have on his show. Like I tell you what happened. But like, all right, and then the last of the ones that I would like to go over is Joe Rogan, the king of all podcasters, the person like that has the most guests on there that has me thinking about different things, you know what I mean? And it's so funny to actually have people on there like Eddie Bravo or something like that. I think he used to believe in aliens and all this type of stuff, right? And it's so funny. It's like, isn't even like with this show, people, like, it's like a new thing, or like a new toy is a new toy, right? So like, my episodes used to be all over the place, and I thought I had this idea. I thought I had this idea. And like, oh, I'm going to build a whole TV station because can't nobody stop me. I can do this and I get my friends in, right? All this stuff, right? And told everybody about it, right? Nobody come. Nobody show up. Nobody say, yeah, Rich, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do your show. We can talk about this. We can talk about that. All of this. You know what I mean? Had one person, my dude Artie. Shout out to Artie. But like our personalities, he didn't understand. Like, our personalities, I mean, it either going to make for a good show or a bad show, you know what I mean? And obviously, it made for a bad show. That's another one, like, that didn't work out, you know what I mean? Like, that was, like, about an hour and a half, right? I've taken it down, so, But, like, me and him, he's like, I'll never do your show again. I ain't on this shit. What you are? Oh, my gosh, man. Man, oh, man. It's funny. It's not me. I swear to gosh. It's me. You know what it is? It is me. Because like I am an antagonist. I am a quintessential antagonist. I fuck with people. And I've been doing it all my life. I figured this out. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all maybe for the first time. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I figured it out. I am a dick Richard. For real. I don't just mess with people. But it's like, right? I mean, on the flip side of that, it would be I am a challenger. Like, I challenge. Like, that's what it's like, when I used to read the Bible, like, oh, am I the devil? Like, hold on. It's like, I might be bad. Like, I don't understand. Like, you ask too many questions and, and how dare you challenge, and like, right. And so like, right, I'm a child, right. And so my mother would be God, right. And so like, like, oh, I must be the devil because, like I be questioning my mama, you know what I mean? I question the teachers and it's like, I'm not good. I'm not a good child, because, I asked too many questions. Like this used to be, that was like, that started, that starts, I'm glad, like, I'm sure that there are people that never, get over the part that they're not bad, or however that is, like however that road leads down, right? It might be the road that leads right here, shit, because here I am. But it's like I used to feel bad for that type of stuff, just questioning, like, maybe I'm the devil, and it's like that starts things, but like, with Joe Rogan, but my point was about how, people, Eddie Bravo talking about, you know, he used to believe in aliens, and so he don't believe in the shit no more, right? Just for a record. So he like, you know, people still come up to him though all the time, like, man, yeah, you know, government, you know, we have monkey man, you know, and the Anunnaki came down, you know, and it was all about the gold, man, and you know, and then, you know, he got to sit there and like and listen to these people, you know, they are so, you know, immersed in this still, or, you know, they actually believe this, you know, but he was an advocate for this, you know what I mean? It's like, that's very funny. And now he don't believe in that shit no more, you know? It's like with me, you know, like, it's like me, you know, like, I can have a conversation about anything, you know what I'm saying? But like, you ever want to talk about that shit is for real, you know what I mean? No. You know what I mean? I don't know what is real. You know, like we don't like that is that's a conversation in itself. You know what I mean? But we can have the conversation, but don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wouldn't want nobody to die on that sword. You know what I mean? None of that. You know, because it's, you know, it is, but it ain't. You know, that's all I could say about it. You know, and so I have figured out, right? Stop being so serious about it. You know, and not call y'all stupid, and not be sounding like a racist, homophobic hating person. Right. Pause, right? That'd be so funny, right? I'm still gonna get in trouble because I think it's like, you know, I've got some subjects I want to tackle because it's like, you know, like we, you know, it's like it could be funny. It's funny, but it ain't funny really. You know what I mean? Because they was talking about like right. Speaking of Joe Rogan, like I ain't trying to steal his show, but like, you know, he had you know, they on there talking about Jeffrey Epstein. You know, like, you know, how did this man kill himself? And did he, you know, like, you know, he has all these different dynamic people. And my point to that was going back to the black shows or the black YouTubers, you know, that I noticed, you know, the most prominent ones, you know, you scroll down, you know, you're going to see their, you know, their marketing prowess and how they were able to, you know, gather all this following, but all they talk about, you know, is other people. And then you got this, you know, you got Joe Rogan, all, you know what I'm saying, always having different people on his show. You know what I mean? It might be crazy white people, but this is the shit that they thinking about. And this is the shit that y'all thinking about. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, and so me being a black dude, you know, nobody want to listen to the shit I talk about. Right? I ain't talking about, you know, well, I just was, right? I just was talking about, you know, what everybody else talk about, but trying to talk about it from a different type of, you know, view, you know, like you probably, like my microphones are good because I'm sure, you know, I have neighbors and they be like, find a quiet room, you know, so, you know, your recording will be crispy clear. I had to invoke my right to pause the show. Had activity that was beyond my control, or noise, what should I say? But not right. Just to continue on, because I don't know, it's been a minute since I've. Anyway, right. I was just wrapping up about how, you know, I'm seeing how you know, what people choose to use their platform for, but like they got that platform or they got that notoriety for that content. So, you know what I mean? It's not like, it's like Jay-Z, you know, used to say, you know, like, you know, he want to rap like Talib Kweli, you know what I mean? But like, that ain't, you know, like, but he made his money from, you know, making other type of music. But at the same time now, you know, like he's trying to, you know, be his own person, you know, and be more black, you know, be more nigga, you know what I'm saying? Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, you know, like, you know, being in control of, you know, all aspects of things, you know, that pertain to him and his, you know. So, you know, it's like Tyler Perry, you know, building that studio, you know, off of all the, you know, dressing like a woman for all these years, and now, you know, he has a, you know, the biggest studio in the world probably, and named after all of these black actors and actresses and things like that, and commemorations to these people, but how he got there. Same thing with our religions and all of that. So I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's like, right, I'm just saying about how people, I guess if you build it, they will come, right? And so, like however you choose to, gather people together, if you are a leader, then people are, going to follow you. You know what I mean? So with your great power comes great responsibility. And I just like the way Joe Rogan uses his platform, and that would be the end of that. And just so happened to be like 30 minutes. So let's take a break, people, and I'll be right back. Coming up, we was going to talk about Trump, because I did know, I did say that in the beginning, but on the coronavirus and things like that. But I'm going to say that for another show. So if you watch, if you listen to me, then, you're going to hear it right after this if you want to. So that would be up to you. But I'm going to save that because I'm going to go and talk about something else that I want to talk about along these same lines of content and, what you want to use your platform for. So be right back.
Pages turning, I'm the star of a movie. What you was afraid of, the reason that you worry, cause I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain of the story. I'm the bad guy, villain of the story. Pages turning, I'm the star of a movie. What you was afraid of, the reason that you worry, I'm the bad guy, I'm the villain of the story.
I wish I had just an instrumental, for my theme song, but I don't. So like this would have to be my interlude music, until I get back to you guys. I am back. Right, these transitions got to get better. It's so funny. Like you have all these podcast groups, as I said before. Like people always looking for suggestions. What should my show be about, and what and how many what this and this and that and that and that. You know what I mean? Like, why you have all these questions? Like, you know what I mean? Like, like you have something to say, you supposed to just get on there and say, it's like, this was the whole thing. And I see how it is now, though, but like, cause like my brother, I mean, it's like, he was like a deer in headlights, you know what I mean? It was like the microphone on, and he's, you know what I'm saying? It was like, we was doing a live show, right? And so, it's just live. So it's like, when people are going to come in and, we did a live show and a recorded show, also, actually. But when people gonna come in, or when they come in, you can see them come into your show, and so hey, such joined, So sorry about that. I wonder, right? It was amazing that like how good this microphone is, because like I had the microphone, I had the earphones on, and he had the microphone across the table, so I could, like he he sounded very clear the whole time, you know. So me being all up on the microphone like that, you know, I have stopped. I hope that this episode, you know, is going to be quality on the voice side, okay, you know, because like, right, I could look at the lines, you know what I mean, like, you know, I guess they supposed to be about in the middle, you know, remember that for music, you know, like you want to keep it on a steady flow and things like that, you know, but my point is like about like people have no idea what to say, or you know, like you know, what time did you buy the beer? You know, I bought the beer. You know, you fucked up, right? You know, but it's like because they don't like me saying know what I'm saying a lot of times, or how you know I'm trying to get better with that, you know, and stopping and thinking, you know, while you're trying to talk, and I understand that, you know, public speaking is, they say, people's number one fear, but like it's not easy, you know. These people that you see on TV and you see, you know, the stuff is not, you know, it's not. I don't know if it's natural. You mean you're supposed to make it natural? You know what I mean? Like I guess you're supposed to be natural. You know, that's the whole point to it. But it's like it's a practice thing, also. You know, and all of that. But and so you know, like my brother, you know, like he would not talk. He would not talk. You know, it's like, I mean, actually, like whispering to me, like it's nobody listening. Like it's live, but it's not. Like nobody. But he's still over like, I got nothing to say. It's like, I mean, it's like I got so frustrated, you know. I mean, then he get frustrated, so he shuts down. You know, like you know, people. You know, it's like you have most people are passive aggressive, you know, like they, you know, they don't want confrontation, you know, and, you know, it takes a lot, or, you know, a build up, or, you know, a lot of times alcohol, you know, for people to express, you know, their non-agreement, you know, with a lot of things that go on in their life, you know, but you can't stay drunk all the time, you know, so that's the problem also. And then if you try to, you become alcoholic and dysfunctional. But, you know, just like you can trick yourself, which I was trying to pick up and just, right, segue into, is that just how you could trick yourself into losing, you could trick yourself into winning, right? And so my case in point would be me talking about this show, right, to my nurses, you know, at the hospital and stuff like that. And so, you know, the one lady, she is so crazy. But like, she wants to tell my doctor, but I think I already told him about, you know, having a podcast before. But I guess it more registered with them this time. However, but the thing is this, right? So, you know, and then they asked the name of it. So like, you know, it's like, oh, how can I find it? You're like, and so they might actually fucking listen to the shit one day. Like, you know, like, damn it. It's like, I don't want. And then I was trying to stop him. It's like, you know, like, no, you can't be saying that, you know. It's like trying to stop her. Like, you can't be saying that because, like, you know, all right, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, are you embarrassed about, you know, what you're saying, things like that? But it's like, you know, like, right, it's about like your niche and things like that. And so it's like, no, this is not for your ears. You know, it's like, you know, podcasts are for certain people. But I don't think this, like, you know, you're assuming things, stuff like that, you know. But it's like, my point is about, being more responsible, right, with my little platform, like, because like somebody might actually listen, you know, and you know, you don't want to come off as ignorant. You don't want to, you know, I have my thoughts, you know, on things, and like I want them to be more clarified, so you know, I could make a little bit of sense to somebody, you know, if it's your first time or your last time, you know, because I always thought about it as like, you know, like a growth thing. Like, you know, you just, you know, you see, like, I do have a part on here about, like it's only like a few people to see the snowball forming. It's like, hey, you see that little snowball, look, or even, the special people might even see the snowflake, right? That's impossible. See, right? That's impossible. But the snowball, getting bigger, because people always want to see the avalanche, And like I had said that, and right, because it might have been on my coronavirus episode that I'm supposed to not be making right now, because it's about seeing right. Like I be talking about, like it doesn't matter about being right and seeing the future, because people don't listen. They only going to see the avalanche, and there are a few people to see the snowball, And my point about like tricking yourself into succeeding, to wrap this together, is about like me telling these ladies, about my show, so they listen. Like what the, like I'm be like, like how are they gonna view me, because I have to see these people again. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like that's a funny thing about like, how about all these white people, racists, or however you want to call them, or white supremacists, and get seen on the news, and then they got to go to work. But right, birds of a feather flock together, because like they still in their communities, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like weird about like, but certain people know them, like that don't agree with their views, you know what I mean? Like that's interesting, right? That's going on all around, right now in other households that I don't know nothing about. But my point is about like, me not using so much profanity and not saying nigga so much and bitch so much and fag so much. I think I'm going to have to always say all three of those together, just so people know. Cause that it might fly out, but it doesn't, like, I'm not going to explain. See, that's the thing about it. Like, I'm not going to explain that type of stuff, that would be the build up to get into this point of not having to explain it, but not saying it all the time. But when I do say it, it's understood, because you got to watch the first show. Hey, I don't want to hear anybody gonna tell me, I'm cool now, like in 10 years, and say, or if I live, right, 5 years, 2 years, however long I got, like about, oh, he said this, he said that, and what about his past? And like, I don't want to hear none of that shit, because like it's almost built in that I can't do anything positive, for the world. Like, and to do things positive for the world, then I have to be collaborative. You know what I mean? Like, you have to get help. You know what I mean? Monetarily, physically, spiritually, mentally, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I do believe, my first part of starting this in the first place, and, telling people all around the world, Craig, that TNC is real, you know what I mean? And that it is about children, at the end of the day, all about not messing up the next generation. Like, we only need about 10 years now, you know what I mean? Things move a lot fast, a lot faster. We could change the world in 10 years, all of that. So that'd be my point. And so by me running my big mouth and stuff like that, it forces me, to think about my content and think about, what I am saying, in every show, and, or in the whole whole construct of what I'm trying to put across, simple as that. So, Buddhist, man. Yes, sir. But let me see here. Right, and so once again, like this, me with this episode that I made, No Grand Plan. Like, I just keep on, like, cause I always think it's a grand plan. Like, it's like, It's like it's all too funny, for it not to be connected and correlated. Like, it's no, it's no coincidences and things like that. So, it's like for a person that studies, the little things, it's so, when you find a connection, when you find that you're looking for, the treasure, and, you find a gold penny, here and there, in a desert, but, the treasure is there somewhere in the desert, and once in a while you find, a gold penny here or a sign there that is real. So you keep going, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we have as people, that's basically our only truth that we know is there somewhere. But, it's like, is it your job, right, to find it, or what are you looking for, the treasure. But like I said before, it's like, like the grand plan thing, it seems like that people be always making moves. Like I said, like, people, play chess with life and things like that. And it's like, oh, they take opportunity, and they move, or this doesn't seem like that's not a big deal, you know what I mean? Because, right, getting to Trump, because it's unavoidable nowadays, and this coronavirus and everything. But like now, just today, he, $50 billion freed up for, what we are facing right now. Still no big deal to him. Still shaking hands with people, right? Right. And then he got confronted, about him being like, right, took the picture. This is what I'm talking about, a habitual liar and a line stepper. You know what I mean? Took the picture with the man. Once again, like, just like he said he didn't know Les Nunez, and got a million pictures with him, talking about, but he don't know him like that. And got a picture with this dude standing, on with him, and talking about he don't really know him, but this dude got coronavirus now, but you don't really know him. What the fuck? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? So this is what we dealing with, and it's like, when I say no grand plans, like, so now it's like he has almost single-handedly affected our whole society. You know what I mean? It's like, now, is this some type of damn fucking grand plan? Because, it's like me being right, and I'm telling you stuff I have said, like, a long time ago, then it comes to be, I'm like, what the hell, you know what I mean? And so, like, this no grand plan thing keep messing with me, because it's like now they taking advantage of it, he freed up all this money, and so now the stock market, the only thing that he's, concerned about is, has rallied back, now it's the greatest comeback since '88, but it was just three, it's 3 or 4 of never has this happened before, of worse, right? And so now you got, not since '88, you know what I mean? And I'm telling y'all, this is going to be his talking point about, stock market came back in one day, because I'm right on it. And then it's like, literally, right there, I don't know if they was on the White House lawn, but it looked like Mike Pence, basically just went up there as always and sucked his dick. It's because of our president, and the things that you have done, that we're going to get through this. And they said that that you have handled this the greatest, and we are the number one. Just sit up there. Just praise this man. Okay, I apologize for my language. Praise this man for his actions and his extraordinary capability in this situation. And then he had another lady to get up there and have the nerve, the gall, to sit up there and compare this to the AIDS virus, the AIDS the AIDS breakout in the 80s. Somehow they didn't know what was going on with that right away. And it took years and years. And then the way this administration has handled this, it's like, wow. That's how you brought all this together? Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna laugh. I'm not, this shit, it can't be serious, you know what I mean? So I have come to that conclusion, people. All right, and so I apologize, you know, for any prior insults that I have given anyone, and my seriousness to think that, you know, you guys didn't get it and I did get it. I was wrong. It's a circus. All right, but I do not want to hear, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want nobody messing with me about what I got to say. That's all it came down to, really. You know, like, that's what all my explaining before was about. It's like, you know, I have a way of thinking, but it's not about I have a right to think that way. You know, it is more of a corporation of many ideas, and it's like, you know, they make us choose. Like, you know, you can't, like, you know, you learn trades, you learn skills and things like that, but thinking is not set. You know what I'm saying? It's not a set place, you know what I'm saying? It's not a fixed diameter, you know what I mean? Like, thinking is not that, you know what I mean? Like, thinking is always learning, right? Thinking is always growing. So that incorporates everything, you know what I'm saying? Down to, you know, like, and so, but they make us start off believing, you know, me, like, but it's not they, you know what I'm saying? It's like, people only teach you what they know, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so, like, it's just, like, once they teach you how to think, you see what I'm saying, then it's up to you to always be thinking, you know what I mean? And, like, I guess a lot of our parents and stuff like that don't teach us, like, that's the goal. Like, you know, they teach you how to think, but they teach you what to think, you know, or, you know, right, you know, because you can learn another language, that doesn't mean, like, you learning new fucking words. I mean, you just learning how to say the same words in another way, you know? So that's for everything, actually, you know? Right. And all right. It's just like, okay, it's like this thing about it being like, you know, it's like another shift, like, this is a pawn move, because what I was trying to say about this $50 billion is cool for the stock market, but they have opened up more powers to the presidency for this man, right? There's other things that goes along with that, you know, $50 billion that he is able to do, you know. They're talking about, you know, they have given him more power, okay? The last thing that he needs at this moment is more power, you know? And then Iowa, you know, right, shut down their elections. So that's the first time that's happened in I don't know how long. And I live in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And so they have shut down the schools. So, you know, our president, which is our governor, you know what I mean? Like, people, we pay... I mean, I understand, you know, about the president, but, like, your state, you know, has their own, you know, Trump, you know, or whoever they are in your state, you know, they have their own leader. And so ours, what the hell is his damn name? I forgot his damn name. Buddhist, man. DeWine, yeah, DeWine, Mike DeWine. So he didn't shut down the schools for 2 weeks, right? And now, like, I live in, like, East Cleveland, right? It's like one of the poorest cities in the damn country, they say. But so a lot of these children depend on food from school, you know what I'm saying? Breakfast and lunch and stuff like that, you know? And so the next 2 weeks, you know, like, this is, you know, a major part of their diet for the day. and they have all this stuff. I guess they're trying to, have buses, and they're accommodating. They're making they're addressing the problem. Afterwards. It's like, and it's the whole thing about like. But this is like, Trump having this meeting today and saying, oh, they on top of it, and they've been, they opposed to other countries, they're number one on top of things, and everybody said that he's been doing a good job. Pence got up there, and praised him like this and that. But in the meantime, okay, in my city, right, East Cleveland, Ohio, for the next 2 weeks, these kids are going to, because of Trump, my governor. Okay, I'm sorry. That's like I was telling you about before in the beginning of the show, though, about how, the news trickled down, TMZ, Wendy Williams, gossip channels, YouTubers and stuff like that. So, from Trump comes my governor shutting down the schools for 2 weeks. And then in Maryland, like, he's not the only one. And then, like, on the map, it says, like, we not even... This is preemptive striking here, people. See what I'm saying? This is, the breaking some eggs to make an omelet type of thing, So this is affecting people, though. People going to lose their jobs. Businesses going to be shut down. All of these things comes from the source, you know what I mean? And we are the people that captured, the first seeing Trump make no big deal of this, for the last month, like back in January, they was telling this man that, he needed to prepare for this. No, he's doing everything right. He knew, right. I'm sitting up here watching him talk about, I know a lot more about this than a lot of doctors. They like, how you know so much about this? Like, this nigga is crazy. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all can't tell me shit. And the thing about it is, like, I'm always gonna sound like congested because I'm about to laugh my ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be laughing over here. I'm talking about, like, y'all just don't understand. Like, right, that's like, I ain't been making so many episodes and stuff because I'm trying to get the video now, even with my damn messed up tooth. I don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want y'all to see me because, like, I'll be sitting over here, like, like if it was visual, it wouldn't seem so unprofessional, like on your drive home and stuff like that. It's like, you would see, you'd be like, oh, okay, he's just, it's just a show, it's like, it's more, a little bit more animated than I used to be, it's like, because that makes for a better show. Like, then you will be able to feel my passion through the microphone. It's like being like when you was a telemarketer, it's like, you have to make a person seem like you in their living room. You're talking, naturally to them, And like I showed up at people's doorsteps, I had to talk to people. Like, I know how to do this shit. Like, but ain't nobody help me. Like, I was just waiting for help for the longest, right? So then nobody want to help me. So it's cool. I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna get a little live because it's like, it's like even being in an apartment building, right? To observe something, to change it by nature. So me, like a lot of things, I even making a show, try to be quiet, then I listen back, I sound all lethargic, sound drunk, sound high, you know what I mean? Like, I might be a little, I don't know, might be, but like not supposed to, like, you don't even sound like that's not how I sound if I was drunk or high or anything like that. Like, that's not how I sound, And so because I know I am cognitive of people being able to hear me talk to myself alone in my apartment. See what I'm saying? So that affected my shows also, and how I delivered myself. So, all of those little things go into there. So, back to this, like, but right about power, right? And about, how things are being affected, and now, because this man didn't take it serious, or how, like, right, because it's just a grand plan, like, like, oh, let it happen, you know what I mean? Like, let's see what's gonna happen, you know what I mean? Because, like, like, oh, now it give me more power. You know, it's like, okay, now I could shut down this, I could shut down that if I want to. I could do this. Like, I mean, this shit is for real, people. Just happened today. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying it today. It's like, it's good that I just made the episode today because because there's been so much news going on and everybody worried about the disease and like he's saying it's not a big deal and things like that. But like, but let the panic set in, you know. Oh, you gonna be tested, Mr. Trump? You know, like I haven't been. You know, like I don't know that guy. It's like you was in the picture with him. It's like I don't know him. It's like I might be, you know, because he got, you know, like he, like in that, at that very moment he decided like, oh, I can't say that. So, cause he don't want to be tested. Like he might not be, like he gonna probably now, he's like, oh, not for that reason. You know, he was like, you know, you got me, bitch. Like he was mad. And then, you know, he was like, oh, you got me, bitch. All right. Yeah, I might be, but you know, not for that reason though. And then like the black reporter girl get up there and he gon', you know, he's like, you know, like Rashida first one pointed out, that he was standing, you know, right there, you know, with the guy. You know, is that a contradiction? Like, you know, and because I think the other people in the picture with the guy, you know, has they have self quarantined themselves. Okay, so you know. And she asked the question: is, you know, is that a contradiction because they have quarantined themselves? So you think that they're being too scared and they should just, you know, come out, or you know, or should you quarantine yourself? You know what I mean? But she didn't ask it in a way like you not quarantined. So you saying that they playing pussy or ain't nothing wrong with them? You know what I'm saying, about quarantining themselves also, right? You see what I mean? And so then it's like. You know, like I said before, he's saying it's no big deal. You know, it's like, right, only 39 people, you know, have died. A lot of them was in, you know, a nursing home, right? And all this stuff. Like, even in my state, you know, it's like, we have like 4 confirmed. Like, you have all this red. Like, ours is like a little yellow, right? But you have all these red ones that have like Maryland and a lot of other places that have, you know, a lot more outbreaks in DC and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is that there's more places that are above our level, threat level, but my governor, right, has stood up there and shut down the schools and things like that that's going to affect everybody's lives. You know what I mean? Where, you know, like we have, you know, like Cuyahoga County is like one of the biggest, and like, you know, it's like most, you know, like working people, you know what I mean? So these people, you know, don't have a way to get nowhere to take their children, you know what I'm saying, during the day. And so on the end, at the same end, is this, you know, a grand plan move, you know, like, because it's not a big deal, but he's not, you know, but when they say, oh, you know, I don't got to be tested and I ain't got to be quarantined because he knows it's not a big deal, but everybody's treating it like a big deal. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, like that would be one of those moves, you know. It's like just you know, I got more power now. It's like, because like, if he's not worried about anything, but like, then what's the panic for? You see what I'm saying? But the funny part about it, right, that's what I thought about. It was about, right, his ass. What if he do got it and he giving it to everybody? Aha. Right? Because he out there just willy-dally, you know what I'm saying, still shaking hands. You know, the one dude, you know, gave him an elbow bump. Like what are you doing, you know? But, like, this is what we are faced with, you know. So this is why, you know, I am no longer going to be serious and, you know, cussing out my dog, my God, and you nosy people. You know, I appreciate everybody listening to me today. I'm going to leave it right there because I have talked enough. If this is your first time and your last time, right, I do have to remember to put this in the beginning of the show. This is a church, well, donations. So if you like what I said, send me $1. If you didn't like what I said, send me $2. Right, Cash App and PayPal for now. Well, I have a bank account too. Like, I have to. I don't know how to. Well, so you just say I just tell y'all my bank, and then you put like oh yeah, I guess so. All right, so I'll do that next time. Until next time. Buddhist man. As one, we are GP. Tupac was a prophet. Richard Pryor was a prophet. Cat Williams is the king of the niggas, and I am king of the north. My name is Richard Clemens. This is Bipolar in Cleveland. I love you guys. Never ignorant. Getting goals accomplished. Never ignorant. Getting goals accomplished. Yes, sir.
The villain of the story. Pages turning. I'm the star of the movie. What you was afraid of, the reason that you worry, 'cause I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain of the story. I'm the bad guy. Villain of the story. Pages turning. I'm the star of the movie. What you was afraid of, the reason that you worry. I'm the bad guy. I'm the villain of the story. This piece is on a premise. All I